NewsNation has learned Ukraine is declaring a state of emergency, and the country is now drafting military reservists. You're looking live at the capital of Kiev. It's a much quieter picture than the fighting that we are seeing in two separatist regions. And by fighting, we mean the deployment of Russian troops in the area. We know that there have been military maneuvers happening there, Russia claiming them as sovereign or independent portions of land. This morning, Russia is responding to sanctions issued by the United States, the European Union, Canada, Britain, Japan, Australia, and Ukraine have all followed suit on those sanctions against Russia. We are live with every late-breaking development as U.S. troops deploy to places like Poland and Romania. We're digging into Putin's so-called kill list of Ukrainians who could be targeted, and we're answering your questions. But let's start with Allison Harris. She's live at the White House for us. Allison.
Good morning, Adrian. President Biden is now calling this an invasion, imposing strict sanctions against Russia and warning President Putin that this will only be the first round of sanctions if he keeps his troops moving in. Overnight, Ukraine declaring a state of emergency. Satellite images show Russia deploying more military vehicles and troop tents in Belarus, near the Ukrainian border. President Biden calling this the beginning of an invasion as Russian troops move into Ukrainian territory, sending in more supplies like blood.
We still believe that Russia is poised to go much further. You don't need blood unless you plan on starting a war.
The president imposing severe sanctions Tuesday against two of Russia's major financial institutions, Russian sovereign debt, and Russian elites and their family members. The president announcing he's now moving U.S. forces to the Baltic states and positioning Apache attack helicopters and F-35 fighter jets to parts of Eastern Europe to protect NATO allies. And the U.S. is working with Germany to halt production of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. President Biden threatening he's just getting started.
And if Russia goes further with this invasion, we stand prepared to go further as with sanctions.
Meanwhile, the European Union is also leveling sanctions targeting Russian banks and oligarchs after President Putin recognized two separatist regions of Ukraine as their own countries. This morning, Ukraine is issuing sanctions on Russian lawmakers who supported independence of those regions.
President
Putin responding by saying he's open to diplomatic conversations with the West, but will still strengthen his forces. For now, it seems the door is closing on diplomacy, with Secretary of State Antony Blinken calling off his meeting with the Russian foreign minister.
It does not make sense to go forward with that meeting at this time.
As the Biden-Putin summit is also off the table.
There is still time to avert the worst-case scenario. The United States and our allies and partners remain open to diplomacy if it is serious.
And this morning, the Kremlin is warning that Americans will face financial consequences because of these U.S. sanctions. It's something that President Biden himself warned about yesterday. Russia is a top energy producer. Gas prices are already soaring here at home. We could continue to see those costs increase. But President Biden has said democracy and liberty never come without cost.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.